I'm Lynn Sotos, the director of Native Gardens, and here I am sitting on the set of Native Gardens under the oak tree. I like this play. The first time I read it, closed the book and thought to myself, this is just like having seen an episode of I Love Lucy. It's this really marvelous comedy that has a dispute between two couples, an old establishment, Washington, D.C. suburban couple, and the new couple moving into this establishment neighborhood that are of Hispanic descent. And cultural clash and then a fence dispute add to a whole lot of humor and echoes with themes about racism and property, politics, that really remind us that these things are issues that we're still living with. And I think the intent of the playwright was for us to laugh and then think about those things later.
I am Alexandro Javier Bravo. I've been acting since like the 3rd grade, and now I am 20 years old. And I love it. I love doing my job too. I'm a teacher assistant, and I also coach soccer, and I also coach cross country. So I just like to make a difference. So the name of the play is Native Gardens, and I am Pablo del Valle. I think this play has to do a lot with being human and how we connect to people and just being related. It's a comedy, so there's definitely a lot of stuff to poke fun at and to laugh at, but I think there's a lot of humanity to find in all of these conversations. You know, how we relate to each other differently based on where we came from and what's normal to us, or what we deem as acceptable or not acceptable. And it's interesting because we all kind of assume that we know what's acceptable or not, but you meet somebody from the other side of the world and it's definitely not the same thing.
My name is Maria Ramos, and I'm playing Tanya de Valle. I think this play is really important. Reading Native Gardens, I immediately fell in love with it. I think part of it is that I grew up in a family that is half Latino and then half white. My mom is from the United States and my dad is from Guadalajara, Mexico. I like to think that I'm kind of like Tanya as her younger self, going to school, working multiple jobs to try and make ends meet, and trying to do more than she probably can handle, but still putting 110% into every single one of those things.
My name is Steve Jordan, and this is about, I think, my 8th performance with the Mendocino Theater Company. I've been very fortunate to get a variety of roles, and this role is fun because I like comedies. The character I play is Frank Butley, who has worked many years in an office environment, in a very controlled environment, and where he's always been, I think, directed by other people. So his garden is one source of independence where he can exert control and power over a little piece of land. And when his land is taken away, he starts to lose his power and he doesn't quite know how to handle it and deal with it. What I enjoy about Frank is he has a kindness of heart. He tries to be compassionate with his neighbors, with his wife, but especially with his flowers.
I'm Kaye Handley. I play Virginia Butley in Native Gardens. Virginia is the wife of Frank Butley. They live in the DC area. They're both high-powered executive types, and they have been in their neighborhood a really long time, and they really think they're hot shit. Thank you, and we hope we see you at the theater.